Hey guys, it's your girl Elise Black, and I am back with another one. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and turn on the notification button to let you know when I'm dropping another video. And without further ado, let's get into my 2 cents on the reunion. And again, everything that I'm getting ready to say is alleged. So let's talk about it. All right, guys. So if you were watching the reunion on last night, we picked up with where they left off with Melody at Stormy's mother. And as we saw last time, Melody called her mother a demon, which in the end, she showed her true colors because Stormy's mother, I don't even know that woman's name, goes on to say that at first she didn't like that Melody didn't clear up some things about Stormy not being the person recording her conversations in her home, but she just doesn't like her now as a person. She went on to say, comment on the fact that she's still arguing with Martel for the past 6 years. And for me, I was just like, girl, we're going to ask you again to have several seats and act your age. So Stormy tonight, she just looked very, I don't know, like almost defeated. Stormy looked real defeated. Her spirit is what I was picking up on. And I don't know what's going on with her, outside of what we see on TV. I know she battles depression, but her and her husband seem over it a tad bit, but she seemed kind of defeated with just hurt in her spirit. I know she talked about being attacked and people coming for her business after Melody talked about someone being in her home and recording her conversations, that she had a hard time. But surely you're not trying to say the reason why your business went under for a short period of time had anything to do with that, because that really doesn't make sense. It would take more than a tweet overnight to bombshell your business for a period of time. But you recovered. You got back on your feet and you're booming and you dropping stuff, here and there. Your reviews aren't really good on most of your products, but as far as the skin products, but your hair products seem to do well. So, but I just picked up on a different spirit on Stormy during this reunion. She was telling her mother to calm down as far as coming from Melody. She acknowledged that she likes Melody. Sometimes I wonder if people are doing what they're doing to save jobs and to save face. If Melody, has this type of power where people can stop your business from booming just by her not commenting under a tweet when someone went under her tweet and made a comment about you, and her not reading every tweet and clearing shit up, is what y'all are stating. If she has the power to diminish your business overnight, well, maybe I can see why you're trying to get mama to calm down and you're saying, I like you. Yeah, because it's, I don't know. But I just felt Stormy was just in a different space, even when Carlos King was, thanking everyone and for their stories for the season. Even in the end, she just seemed, kind of put out. Okay, so then when we look at, if you read the thumbnail, I one of my things that I really want to kind of talk about is Martel's behavior. Like, I feel when he is making comments about how well Tisha look, he's being disrespectful. Not that I even care, but he's being disrespectful to Marcel. And I just kind of feel like flat out, it's just just a jab all the time towards Melody. It's like he has did that at least 2 or 3 times on camera where he is openly flirting with Tisha. Like, you see him on camera looking at her. And my thing is, men are so funny because, like, Martel must just like a bunch of fake shit. Because he is intrigued with, of course, his scuzz bucket, but he continues to just gloat on Tisha. So if you're looking at the reunion, Carlos King, talks to Tisha about her taking the pregnancy test and her reasons for doing it. And of course, if you've seen it, she talks about the fact she, felt like she was pregnant. She has symptoms of pregnancy. And so she felt like possibly, he could have, impregnated her even though he had a vasectomy. But of course, she had that, what she had read, so many percentage of men, it doesn't take or whatever. So with that conversation going on, and Carlos King asking Marcel, did he feel Tisha could step out on him and all that good whatever stuff, there was a comment made about symptoms, right? So the only symptom Tisha, I think, remembered stating, I'm not sure of all the symptoms she mentioned, but I do know I don't remember her mentioning weight gain. Or did she? Y'all can correct me if she did. Half time I don't really pay too much attention to her. But, she went on to say, once she realized that she was not pregnant, she credited to just eating good. And Martel stated something to the effect, you wear it well. He's made a couple of flirtatious comments towards her, as far as what she looks like in her clothes. And so we talk about disrespect, because they did hit on him being disrespectful to Nell tonight. Maybe he's just like all out disrespectful in every way because he's doing it on national TV, flirting with Tisha. And so they did visit the conversation with Martel and Nell, with the encounter with them, yelling at each other. And Chris Fletcher, in the world's opinion, allowing Martel to disrespect his wife. Well, I stated in my commentary after watching the scene between Martel and Chris Fletcher that I felt, they had that sisterly, brotherly relationship and they kind of yell at each other. I mentioned that I have a coworker that we get it in like that as well. And that's kind of what was recapped on the reunion when Carlos King brought up what, of course, the streets were saying, internet streets, that Chris Fletcher pretty much gave Martel a pass because, Martel is disrespecting his wife. What I find, disrespecting Chris Fletcher's wife, what I find interesting, and I'm pretty sure the world picked up on it as well, as I stated in my last video, he still sides, we're talking about Martel, he still sides with everything Melody says. So Melody went on to talk about the fact that she had conversations privately off camera with Nell, and I'm sure she had even probably in the marriage probably talked to Martel about how he speaks to women and how his tones and levels of irate can be disrespectful. But she had spoken to Nell and felt that Martel's being disrespectful. And she went on to say that she felt Martel should respect Chris and Nell Fletcher because, they're elders. And they have been, there for them in times of need when they were going through what they were going through as, confidants, a person to give mentorship and advice because they had been through some things, crying with them, laboring with them. And Melody felt like these guys Martel should have way more respect for them versus what he displays on TV and, off camera. Of course, Martel stated that when he spoke with Chris, and Chris did as well, he clarified that they have a brotherly sisterly relationship and this is how they do it. But of course, Melody still didn't agree with that. But he went on to say that, going back to Martel, that Nell This is just how she is. She speaks to, he said, Chris's ass like that and her kids like that. But he went on to say that he pretty much matches her energy. And again, Melody felt like this is disrespectful still. And that she felt that Martel owed Nell an apology. Long story short, you guys can see it at the advice of Melody. Okay? And her persuasion and what she had to say, and Carlos chiming in on, do you think, Nell's owed an apology? He gave one. Okay, he did that, okay? But, he had to add a little something to it, but he wouldn't say, but I feel like she owed me one too. And then things of the nature. But I just want y'all to see how often, Martel concedes, like, to whatever Melody says. Like, even though he talks all that shit and does all that stuff towards her, that's not because he's bitter and he's angry because he's lost his queen. But he was with her for so long, even while he was playing off, because he knew she gave good direction. And that's what I feel like any man that finds a good thing, he wants to make sure that woman has good direction. Okay? Because when you're in a relationship, in a marriage, and you're building, you want to make sure that whoever you're with, you can fall on them for guidance, for wisdom, for mentorship, even when it is a husband and wife situation. So you don't want a woman, especially a man who doesn't have the intellect that he needs to have to be a millionaire on his own. Because Martel barely graduated high school, if he did. And so it's like anybody like that who is robbing, ATM machines and then decides, I want to go to college and try to get it together, whatever. He don't have much sense anyway. So he need a chick with a lot of brain, a lot of wisdom, a lot of savvy, and a lot of, intellect with good direct. So that's what he had in her. And so he still takes direction from her because she was still able to make him see, you have been disrespectful to our people, and these people have done more than what we have allowed the world to know. Speaking on allowing the world to know stuff, can anybody out there in these internet streets tell me what is the secret that is on KeKe? Anybody? So if you've been watching the reunion or just the last 2 seasons, Marceau and Tisha, they are adamant that they have something on KeKe. We've been talking about this. There's always times where Marceau says he's gonna spill the beans on her. Don't make me do it. And she always yelling, do it, do it, do it, do it. And they never do it. Okay? They never do it. So tonight, they were talking. Carlos was asking the question, will there ever be pretty much a rekindling of Tisha and KeKe? Tisha's saying no. KeKe's saying I would desire it. And of course, Tisha is saying there's so much that we don't know. And she's tired. And if you pay attention to it, so I'm often trying to figure out what is a real moment for Tisha and Marceau, because I can never tell with them. I don't know. I feel like most of the time it's all the time fakery and foolery, but I'll be trying to figure it out. So tonight when she was talking about we don't know stuff, pay attention to Marceau rubbing Tisha's leg like for support. I don't know what's going on with this situation, but I'm definitely tuning in next season because I hope it will unfold. Because one thing that she said was, there's some things about KeKe that we don't know. KeKe says, well, then tell it, pretty much. KeKe says two things that she was doing that was something that she felt was a secret in the beginning was her taking prescription drugs. She said she's never touched any other drug, and the infidelities in her marriage. Okay? So Martel chimes in that, no, Marceau says there's something else, there's something more. Okay? Now, She's always yelling, tell it. KeKe say, tell it. So then here you find Tisha, who most of the time is on go when it comes to KeKe. When KeKe asks him again to tell it, Marceau makes a statement. I've never released any new information about anyone, and let the record show I've never did this on TV or anything like that, or I guess any social media platform. Tisha then concedes, and it wasn't like her conceding was a command. It was more of, just look at her. Her spirit changed. Like, I ain't finna do this because at the end of the day, this my bloodline. Okay? I don't know. That's why I'm saying I can't ever tell with them, but that right there I felt was real, which makes me wonder what is going on. Okay? Now, things happen when people are on under any type of influence, okay? Some things can happen that people can't take back, or they don't know what they did, or, you could put yourself in harm's way. You just never really know what's going on. But as this story continues to unfold with Tisha, KeKe, the whole nine Marceau, there is still something that we don't know. Now, one of the members from our community made a comment that there's possibility there's some KeKe was with Marceau first. Again, this is all alleged. This came in some of the comments. Check out the last video. Some of you commented that, and that there was some, maybe some babies belong to somebody else from, maybe KeKe got a baby by Marceau. Some stuff that was being said. Now, I don't know anything about that except for what was dropped in our community. But there is something going on, and I don't necessarily think it's that. But when they begin to talk about the fact that this relationship between the two cousins is being destroyed and it needs to be salvaged because of the fact they have daughters that are best friend, during the commercial break, they come back, and prior to that, Tisha has said that KeKe was trying to block her daughter from calling her daughter. And KeKe was adamant that was a lie. And you see her pretty much, Carlos trying to get her to calm down about, why are you lying? What are you talking about? I would never do that. But when they do come back for commercial break, I think there was another scene in between that. You hear KeKe say to Tisha, you are a lying bitch. Okay? Well, wait, let me get me back up. No. She's talking to Marceau. She's not talking to Tisha. She says, you a lying bitch. And they start talking like some type of, they were going back and forth. And of course, it must have been something a lot that we didn't hear, because the cast members were saying it was epic. And, they were rolling, but it was something that was going on. And she said, you a lie. You've only picked me up twice. And she mentioned streetwalker. Okay? She say, don't start that streetwalking. Lie, mess, or something to that effect. Go check it out. But now, if you from my era, we used to use the word streetwalker for prostitute. Okay? She could have either meant, maybe, because see, Martel, you said cameras are rolling. So I believe that possibly they know the cameras is rolling. I believe that there's something that has happened that Tisha and Marceau are not going to say on camera. Because Tisha already knows she go there with whatever it is about whatever she holding, it's going to fuck up some shit between her and the whole family. Which is why I saw her bow out of that. She was popping collars the whole time. Whenever they get to, when KeKe say, tell it, over the past 2 seasons, they would shut the fuck up, and I don't know what's going on with that. But guys, I'm curious. I need to know what y'all think. What is the secret with KeKe? Okay? She's vowing that there is nothing else that is there to be talked about. Okay? But there is something going on, and she mentioned the term street walker. And and pretty much was letting them know, look at her face. I could see it out in KeKe. She said, y'all don't know me. She was ready to like, yo, for it, you could tell it was real. That moment, it was real. Okay? That's why I'm trying to tell you, I need to know what's going on. Y'all get at me, my Elise Black community, Pink Couch Cover TV community. Give me your thoughts on what is going on. What is the secret? What is KeKe not telling us? Do she not remember? Did you catch the streetwalker situation? Did you see the tone change with these two arrogant people that were always watching, turn up at the reunions? Whenever they get to this third, you remember Marcel said, I'm going to tell it, you keep on. Long time, I'm going to tell it. Whenever they get to whatever number 3 is, nobody speaks. And I believe if they speak on it, the family may turn the back on them. Because remember, prior in tonight's show or last night's show, they talk about the fact Tisha was brought on. Tisha, when she came onto the show, it was supposed to be Tisha and KeKe to show their bond. Okay? Tisha goes on to say, I didn't bring you on because I know you. I know what you was going through, and I didn't want whatever that was going on with you to destroy your family. Okay? She came on anyway. My only hiccup with that situation is, I understand you saying, Tisha, you trying to protect your cousin, but then what does her coming on the show, how does that affect you? Because if she comes on the show and blows up her own immediate family, that's on her, right? But her coming on the show, how does that affect you outside of you saying, and you want me to divorce my husband? Does it affect you because she knows something that if she airs it online and really tell the whole truth, you might be forced to, because then you got to eat them words that you always saying, if he fuck up, you leaving? See, it's some tricky shit, and I don't know what's going on. But I think it all going to be real messy when it come out in the wash. But again, her coming on the show, how does it affect y'all directly? I get what you're saying, Tisha, about her blowing up her family, immediate family. But I don't get how it really affects you and your boy unless y'all all keeping secrets on each other. And I really think that's what y'all doing. So let's see. I think I covered the most important things that happened on this final part 3 of the season finale. We talked about Martel, and again, I'm still stating it's going to be a minute for him to get over Melody. She gives him good direction. He takes it. We talked about Chris, Fletcher, and Nell situation a little bit with in correlation to Nell and Martel having their spat. We dug a little bit into Stormy and her mother and Melody pretty much letting her know, you too old to act like this. Go and have several seats. And really there was nothing that we really found out new about Kimmy and Maurice outside of Maurice is a millimeter. He is a Melody fan, period. So he's a millimeter. And let me see, did we go down the couch? And then, of course, we aired out again the Tisha and the Marcel situation. So I think that's it, guys. We will keep watching and see what's coming up next with these cats. But that was the end of the season. And if you have anything that you can help me understand as far as what secret is being kept, please let's talk about it. Get in those comments. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you next time. It's been your girl, Elise Black. Bye.